What's up, guys? It's Brian from HASHWAREHUB. It's about 9 a.m. Eastern Time, January 10th, 2018. We are coming to you with a brand new trading video. Bitcoin is what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be going over several different possible future trajectories, I guess, for or pathways for the price from this point going forward that I think you need to know. Even if you're not invested in Bitcoin but you're invested in other altcoins, you need to know these price patterns, because the altcoins tend to trade somewhat similar to Bitcoin most of the time. But before we get started, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get all this information directly coming to you, and also go to our Facebook page, our Facebook trading group page. The link is down there in the description. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so Bitcoin, what happened overnight? We're looking at a 2-hour time chart here on Bitfinex. And what happened overnight? Let's just zoom in real quick. Okay, the price continued to go down, and it looks like it's also continuing to go down now a little bit. If we really zoom in here. If you've been watching our videos for some time, we've had this triangle pattern up here for quite some time. Now, one of the things we do is we don't just look at one exchange, right? This is being traded on a bunch of different exchanges. So this is Bitfinex. We also look at Coinbase, and we also look at another exchange too. And I will show you right now. Bitstamp. Okay? So why do we do this? We do this because it's like each exchange can tell you something a little bit different, and some exchanges get to certain termination points before others do, and it just gives you more information. It gives you a bigger picture overall. So this is what we have right now. This was on Bitstamp, and last night Bitstamp almost touched this line. Okay, it almost touched this triangle formation, or this wedge formation. It almost touched it. I would consider it touched it. This is as close as you're ever gonna get without piercing through it. So let's just call it the fact that it touched it. Now, what are we looking for here? Okay, in a wedge formation, okay, you're looking for an A, B, C, D, E. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and specifically draw that. So right now we have an A, a B, we're looking for a C, right? We had a C, a D, and an E. Okay, and then what normally happens from there is it shoots up. Okay, it normally shoots up from that point going forward, more times than not. Now, we're going to go over two other scenarios that may possibly happen, and these are things that we've been looking at for quite some time. Again, I don't make a lot of videos like this where we go over a lot of various different variations over a single coin, because it tends not to interest people. Everybody likes to hear the bullish stories, not the bearish stories. So what does this look like here? Okay, if we zoom out, right? If we zoom out and we just take this here for a second and just move it off to the side, what does this look like? Okay, to me this looks like a big A, B, C correction. Okay, and if this were to happen, the price is going to shoot straight through this green line and continue down, probably somewhere around the 9,000 level, which I've been talking about for quite some time. It's a lower probability event, but it is something that we need to keep in mind. Okay, another thing, so that's like the second possible formation we have. The third possible formation is that anytime the price is not closely adhering to a triangle, especially in cryptos, you know, in the traditional markets it's not a big deal, but cryptos love triangles. They love wedges so much that when they don't adhere to that wedge, it makes me scared. because it makes me to believe that possibly the wedge is not the formation, or this can be a nested formation inside the wedge. That happens all the time. There can be more complex formations which can happen all the time. And this is something I actually saw late last night. And I look at this line and I say, okay, fine. Let me see, like, worst case scenario. What could be a bad case scenario also in comparison to a large ABC correction? Well, a bearish flag can. And so if I see this line right here, let me draw another line, right, that's just parallel to it, right? And let me take this line and let me just move it. And what do I have? Oh man, I've got this. So this could be a beginning of a bearish flag. Not a good thing. Not something we really would like to report, and not something we would really want to see. So let's overlay this, and I'm sorry if this is getting too busy, okay? But we right now are in critical times, okay? We're very critical time. This leg right here, this this C leg right here is going to tell us a lot. Okay, if this C leg bounces off this green line right here, then we have a wedge formation. Okay, and that's bullish. If it doesn't, and this C line moves up to here, then we got problems. Okay, and this is probably going to move somewhere around here. Then we have problems, because then this wedge formation really wasn't valid at all. It's more along this bearish flag. So we're going to put this back here because we don't want to tempt the gods, the crypto trading gods. We want to put this here because we think our primary count is that we have this wedge formation, and that it's going to be bullish from this point forward. Okay, our secondary count is this bearish flag, and our third count is a large, like our first that I was mentioning before, is a large A, B, C correction. Okay, where this is going to come down much further down. So, you know what to do. There's not much to do. If you're fully invested, you know, possibly it's a time to go ahead and start removing de-risking some of your position. You know, it's not the most ideal place to be de-risking some of your position, right? Because, you know, either the price will bounce off this green line and move up, or we have this large ABC correction and the price is going to continue down, right? It's, you know, you're not really sure what's going to happen. But like I was saying before, and I've been saying in all my videos for weeks now, you got to start taking some profits. And we were saying this all throughout here. Okay, all throughout here. I'm going to show you those charts again really quickly right now. Alright, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at Bitcoin on a daily basis, Poloniex data. So really, what are we looking at? So this date here is December 17th. Let's call that a market top. And we were saying all throughout here and here, you got to start de-risking Bitcoin. You have to start de-risking Bitcoin. You got to go back to those videos and you'll see they were saying it. Especially right here where it fell off, okay? I mean, this was an indication right here, a hard indication that, you know, things are changing. Another indication was that we had this top right here in the detrend. And the trend continued to go down as the market was going up, and that's another indication that, hey, things are not so great. They're not as great as they appear to be, right? So the market's kind of been going, you know, kind of this down to sideways, you know, momentum right here, and now this is the last day. This is today, right this second. So what are we seeing? So this blue cross that's showing up is actually the blue line. Anytime there's a first point of this blue line, it shows up as a cross. It's not the same blue crosses that you see here. Okay, it's different. It's actually just a line, but that's just the way the program charts it. And you could see here that, okay, the trend strength indicator didn't quite make it to this kind of negative territory here, but still, anyway, it could have been traded. It definitely could have been traded. I mean, the sign indicator was kind of as a low right here. It definitely could have been traded, and it would have been okay. You would have done okay with it, right? But even still, the trend strength then turned and never quite made to that positive territory, that positive 4 territory, and it's turning down now. Okay, this is not good. This is not good at all. Alright, also the D trend is kind of just going sideways. MACD is turning south again, and you also have your sign indicator, which is also turning south. It's not good on a daily basis, really. I'd imagine that this blue line is going to go away by the end of today, unless the market continues to move up, right, or even go sideways. But if it goes down at all, this blue line is going to disappear, most likely. So let's also look at it on an hourly. All right, so this is an hourly data Poloniex Bitcoin. So we had this little bump right here on the trend strength indicator, which pretty much would tell you to get long. So not a bad place to get long, assuming the market doesn't continue to drop. But then right after that, it was this big kind of gap down. At least on Poloniex it was. Okay, this big gap down. Had we been awake and taken this trade, we probably would have been stopped out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, because you also have MACD that's starting to turn positive. And if I were a betting man, that the trend would also start to turn positive here. Okay, we will have this sign indicator that's pointing up again. As assuming we don't get another drop down below that line, that wedge formation that I was mentioning, then the chances are we're going to get some sort of buy signal here within the next few hours. So we're going to be looking at this pretty closely to see what's going on. And we probably won't make a video on it because the videos do take time and they're really not all that timely with regarding to get that information out. But as we track it, you know, we'll probably make a post or two specifically on Facebook. So if you're interested in hearing about that, definitely go over to our Facebook page where the link is down below and ask to join the group, and we'll grant you access there. And if you're new to us, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because we got a lot of information, a lot more information about altcoins coming up, and how we're trading them, and what our beliefs are as far as coins that are going to pop, you know, coming up in the next 90 days and such. So with that said, we're going to leave you there, get this video out of here. It's went on longer than I wanted to, and take it from there. Happy trading.